Dang, I'm very sorry. I did it again. No wonder it was 3 subscribers. Nobody's commenting. Thanks, Al. I didn't know I was running this without no audio. I'm very sorry. Uh, Maybe we should go out and go back in and start this broadcast again. Or no. Once we're done, we'll edit that out. Okay, I'm sorry. We didn't have no audio. Thank you very much, Al. No wonder I had 3 people not going, what the heck's going on here? Thanks for being patient. The 2 people that were watching and the whole time and didn't go anywhere. There was a 3rd person here watching and they left. So now I got to go back to the beginning. All right, let's start over. I'm sorry for them. I'm really sorry. I do that so you can't pick up my talking and my introduction. If I don't mute that, you can. I'm really sorry that there was people watching and 12 minutes into the video, no audio. Very bad. Sorry. I'm just new to this. I forget things. So this is our first Sunday live stream at 1 o'clock every Sunday. Welcome to our live stream, Al, and the other people that are watching this. I'm very sorry. At the beginning of our live stream, we didn't have no audio. But anyway, so now back to one thing that we added. And whatever you guys, now that you can hear me, that you'll check out, is our new website, link below. It's pretty cool, is we're going to make and capture Thank you, Al. He said he didn't thought it was him. No, I just muted that mic so you can hear me talking and making noise like in the last live stream. Okay, let's cover, make sure, we'll cover these subjects I wanted to do. Make sure you check your water temperatures. At this time of the year, water temperatures, it's not like you can't find a place to fish. You got to find spring-fed creeks. Get away from your big water that moves slow. Stick to your spring-fed creeks. 65 or 70. Some people do 70. I do 65. If we're going further, I want you to make sure you're checking your water temperatures. And now back to the website with the link. You can find the link below. We are going to come out in the creeks and record you fishing, your hunting, your fishing, your bungee cord jumping, your whatever. Just check out the link below, and we'll come. If you're doing it tomorrow, all you gotta do is contact us. There's a tab on there, contact us, send me an email, and that'll get a hold of me, and we can come out and record your fishing, hunting, ventures, whatever you want us to do. That's a new feature, or a new thing we wanted to start. The channel is not finished yet. We're working on it. I want your ideas. That's why I launched it. It's not quite done yet. I just want your ideas, what you think, your opinions. So leave them below. Thank you very much for that. Now, on to talking about fishing again. The 3 people that we have watching, make sure you comment. I love comments. Make sure you have questions for us. And we're going to listen and answer these questions that I had. Brian Clusters made a comment on one of my videos, and he asks, what makes it a tractor pattern? Well, Brian, that's a very good question. What makes it a tractor pattern is when the fly itself does not represent anything. It doesn't represent a mayfly. It doesn't resemble a terrestrial, which would be a grasshopper or a cricket. That's terrestrials. Terrestrials are something that's not born in the water. It's introduced to the water by mistake, like a moth, a grasshopper, a gypsy moth, or any of them kind of things that aren't born in the water. It's not an aquatic insect that gets introduced to water by mistake. That's a terrestrial. And a tractor is something that it could be pink. Let me tell you, I have never seen a bug floating down the creek that's pink. What this is, and makes the fish are very often opportunistic. That means they see something that looks like food and they'll take it because it attracts their attention just because they think it's food and they're hungry. So they're opportunistic and they take it. And using all kinds of colors in your attractor patterns, reds, purples, blues, make sure you got a variety of colors to use. We use attractors as dropper rigs, which we were on a debate about that, about using different ways of making a dry fly. I watched a video where the guy used a foam on the body of the fly and slipped the leader through that, using that to adjust the length between his dry fly and his nymph. Very good idea the guy did in the video. I only have one problem with that. Here we go. For the person that made that comment or shared that video, here's my problem with that. You could take that dry fly and pull it to adjust. That's how the guy had in the video. Okay. If I take 4-pound test and tie it on, okay, to a dry fly, and I pull on that, it takes a lot for me to snap that 4X line. Now, think back to Tracy's video where we were up at Pine Creek last, fishing Slate Run that flows into Pine Creek there, and that she snapped off. That fish snapped 4X in a matter of seconds. So, you think that if you tie that dry fly on there and you can pull and move it up and down the leader, that if a big fish grabs that dry fly, he's not going to rip that right off the end of the leader, get to the nymph and snap the nymph off, or just strip it right off the end of the hook? I don't believe it. It snapped that 4X, which I can barely do with my hands, and you still can move that fly around. That's why I've seen videos on it. I've seen people try it, and every time somebody comes up with an idea and I look at it, I don't want to share it with you guys, because the first time somebody loses a big fish, they'll be yelling at me on my channel. So that's why I didn't use that idea, whoever it was. I forget. But yes, I've seen different ways. And on the strike indicator, that thing, I did try them worms with the toothpicks, and they work great. So I recommend them for the strike indicators. We talk about strike indicators. I love dropper rigs. When you're in this time of year, a lot of your spring-fed creeks that you're going to be fishing are low, and you have to fish pocket water, which is water is only usually under a feet and crystal clear. And you take your old strike indicator out there, I don't care what kind of size it is, and that hits the water, that's going to scare the living daylights out of a lot of fish. So that's why I use dropper rigs. And when I'm fishing smaller creeks, I use smaller tractors and smaller nymphs. And be careful, because last time I did that last fishing video I did, the first time I hit that hole and I had that little stuff on, that first trout took it. And I could never hook it again to get it back, because I had 5X on, and that fish was way too big for that 5X. So if you plan on catching a bigger fish, even if it's a small creek and spring-fed creek and you think there's bigger fish in there, make sure you keep your tippet line up so you don't keep a hook in their jaw. Trust me, I tried catching that fish back and I had no luck. And I love spring creek fishing. Here's a little story about a spring creek fishing. When I was probably 14, 15, I started fly fishing. And a man taught me, I had no idea who this guy was. He taught me about wrapping the fly line around, and this is a technique you can use. I'm going to do a video on it, actually. You wrap your fly line around, and your leader around your fingers, and you pull the rod back like a bow and snap it on these little creeks, because there's not much room and you got to go under branches. And the guy that taught me that, I knew could shoot, I don't know, 15, maybe more line out by using that technique. And for years it was like, if I ever run into that guy, well, bringing me to do this YouTube channel, I want to bring more stuff to you, so I go to more events. Like, I never been to Lancaster show, and I went this year and videotaped it. It was lots of fun. And I ran into the man who had taught me that technique when I was 15 years old, and I got a chance to thank him. So that was a really cool experience for me to thank that guy. from that story, see if you could tell me who I was talking about. Anybody know who I was talking about in that story? Okay, let's see what else I got to cover. Making your own flies. We want to start covering that more and more. When I first started this channel, trust me, I got to go back and somebody made a comment about the white SOB, the streamer that I did that was... Yes. By the way, Joe Humphreys. There you go. Good job, Larry. Joe Humphreys, the famous fly fisherman, taught me that at the age of 14. See, what happened was I belonged to Trout Unlimited. And since we're from Pennsylvania, Joe Humphreys has always been there. And we had, Trout Unlimited had a meeting back then, back in that day, around that time of my age. And he had showed up to go fishing with the Trout Unlimited's annual area meeting. And he taught me that. And because of that day, now I have to go back in and redo the Joe Humphreys crest bug, because he told me exactly how he tied that fly. So now I got to go back and make that one over. Sorry if you guys watched that video, but that's how, when I seen him show it, I used a picture of him holding the fly up. And that's what it looked like he used. And I found out that was a little off. Very, very close. Just a very little bit off. So, but yeah, Joe Humphreys taught me that. And I got to thank him for him teaching me that. Because I was born and raised on spring creeks. You know, some people say, Spring Creek, I can pee that much. But yeah, they're not very big. But I love the little wild brookies. And that's where I learned to fly fish. Spruce Run, to be exact, and White Deer, little creeks. I was lost when the first time I hit Penn's Creek, and I had tied all these little teeny flies and got to Penn's Creek, and there was size 10 green drakes out there. Man, I didn't know how to think. Yes, Larry, the bow and arrow cast. That's what they call that. Yep. He's a master at it. I've seen him bow cast like 30 freaking feet, man. He's incredible at it. And I'm not quite that good at it, but I've been practicing it more. I've been fishing more spring creeks than I ever have since I was a kid, because I like to get out and fish. And then also, you guys, by being subscribers and I know there's an interest in our videos, I go fishing a lot more. I fished more this year, more than I think I ever have in my whole entire life. And I love... Somehow, that's why we're starting this new business. To love to do this full time. I mean, that'd be great. You know, I go full time, and then we can take off and go New York salmon fishing and cover that in a video, you know. Yes, the small snappy cast is called the upper and the lower. Is what he calls that cast. And I watched the thing on that. Yeah, it's when he goes to do his forward cast, he snaps it. And it shoots the nymph down into the water plane. And Joe Humphreys, if you watch this video, which is funny, I always got a kick out of this, is like, I watch other people's videos too. And I try and get flies from the competitors, because they're constantly coming up with new crazy ideas. And he's always done high stick and Euro nymphing. If you watch his technique, he just doesn't use a sighter, which I never used a sighter. I don't know what the sighter thing's about. So let me explain that to me in a comment. I don't know what the purpose is. If you've got contact and you're high sticking and you're keeping your fly between the tip of your line and that fly tight, anytime I noticed, as soon as that stops, it either straightens out your line moves, your leader stops. I can strike indicator fish without a strike indicator in 3 feet of water. What you do is you locate your end of your tippet or your leader, with dry fly coating. And if that stops, pauses, or sinks, I prefer the strike indicator. You can pick up a better strikes a lot easier. But if you have to, because you're scaring the fish, you can do it. Oh, Damon Drake. I think it's Diamond Drake. Diamond Drake. There's somebody that reached out to us too. I got talked about this. I think they said they were going to be here, and I'm not sure which person it was. Leave a comment if it was you, so I can give you. Is going to start working with us on a program that they represent. So we're going to do an interview with that person, talk about their program. I'm starting to learn how to do an interview we could do on a Sunday show live, where we could interview that person live while you're watching. So look for that. That'd be really neat. I can't wait till we can do that. We're learning how to do that, and we'll bring them, and they can talk about their program. We're going to do one with Carl Dennis, about him. He has an interesting story. We're working on getting that so that we can interview him. He has a really cool story. It's an inspiring story people want to hear. And yes, it was Damon Drake who said that he has a program. So we're going to have to do an interview, Bud, with you. And we'll do it on a live show. Or we can do it and I can record it and just add it to the live show later. I could put, I could put videos here, which we're going to work on. Maybe putting some of our little fishing videos up here to watch while you're watching a live stream. And I just learned how to put this banner down here and this here. So we're working on making our live streams, and every Sunday will be a little bit better. We'll add things, cooler things, and they'll get better. Just like my videos get better constantly. Because I just learn more and more. Thank God I'm not done learning. All right, see you later, Larry. I will see you next Sunday at 1 o'clock. So, yeah, so we're going to be doing other things where we might be tying flies and going live with other people in the water, fishing with them, or going to do collabs like that, and other collabs, which you'll be really cool. I can't wait to do collabs with people and live interviews, and I'm excited about that. Because everybody else out there, we have almost 1,000 subscribers to our channel. Every one of you guys I know has a story to tell. And I like to bring your story to our channel too. Be the voice of you guys. That's why I love your comments when you say, hey man, to make our channel better, notice I said our, not mine, our channel better, I think you should do this in the video, or you should add this kind of videos, or I want to learn this. That's what comments are made for. Live streams like this. So this week when you're fishing, you're out there and I'm like, dang, why did that happen? I could ask him that this Sunday at 1. And then when you get here, you leave a comment and questions you have. Let's see what else we can cover. Oh, make sure. I'm sorry about this, but I got to mention it. Go check out our GoFundMe. I'll put a link below when this video is done, and after it's edited. Check out our GoFundMe. Make sure you do. Please check that out. It's to help keep the channel alive and making more videos this year than last. Okay, that's the out of the way. What other subjects do I have about fishing? I guess I got to think of them. I didn't see anybody. Oh, well, I'll tell you what. Let's discuss what a sighter is for you people that don't know. A sighter is many different things. The sighters that I've seen most of the people using it's a curly thing. It kind of looks like one of them, the necklaces you wear that you can stretch out and put your keys on, and then it springs back. That's what exactly almost what a slider looks like. And you tie that in, and then you tie maybe 6 inches to a foot, then your tippet ring, and then you go on with the rest of your leader. And what you're doing is when you're holding that line out, going across there, if that spring or that sighter straightens out or moves, you set the hook. Mine's saying I can't, and Damon Drake said, I hope I'm getting that right. Let me know if I'm making a mistake on your name, if I'm saying that, Damon Drake. That it's for people who don't understand how to interpret line movement. See, me, as all the years in fishing, I can fish and feel that fish pause that line. Some people can't see that and know that it's a time to set the hook. So that's for them to see the actual strike. Me, when I'm going across there high sticking, I call it high sticking. I mean, Euro nymphing. So Euro nymphing is high sticking with more than one nymph. That's what I get out of it. Which I've been high sticking more than one nymph. I often fish more than one nymph. And this is how I like to set up my nymphs. We can talk about that. When I often do it, even in this time of year, I'll do it with a dropper rig. I'll put a dry fly, a foot, and then I put my weighted fly. And I'll explain why. The weighted fly, that'll be your water depth. Then I'll put like a really, I might have this 4X or to a bigger fly, and then I'll have 5X coming off to an unweighted fly. So what that does is that brings both flies down to the water level, and the one trailing behind with no weight will move around freely in the current. As soon as you add a bead head to that fly, it doesn't have as natural movement in the water. Even though bead heads work great, it's always good to put, maybe if you want to do just pheasant tails, let's say you're fishing for early winter olives, and you put a bead head olive representation on there, and an unweighted olive trailer, and the olive will look natural, and the bead head will be more like an attractor fly, and yeah. How about, yeah, Damon Drake said, high sticking sounds like a bad thing to do in Hockley. I agree. But that's what I called it for when I was a kid. We didn't hear of Euro nymphing. I didn't know. You said Euro nymph, and I'm like, huh? Which a lot of people would have been, huh? Fly fishing also is another thing that's been staying up on new ideas and new ways. A lot of it has to do, I think, more than anything else, is our competitive fly fishermen now. They're constantly coming up with new ideas. And the Europe nymphing came from the Europeans whooping our butt so much that they were trying to figure out how they were doing it, and that's how it came. So now we're coming up with newer ways, newer flies, whoop butt. So darn it, now I forget what I was gonna. I had another one I wanted to talk about. Subject. Any questions? Oh, thank you. I am pronouncing your name right. Thank you. And I will have to do. One comment I got is that'll be in it watching for in our videos is more use of different camera angles. Dave, sorry. Dave. If you're gonna ask me what streamer pattern is flies are good, my favorite streamer pattern is the white SOB. And it's not because I'm sure people have fished it, but you can't buy it anywhere. So it's basically all it is a white, if you're going to make a white marabou, or white not mother minnow. If you're going to put on, okay, I'll just tell you how to tie it. Take your white marabou, put on the back. Instead of clipping that off, right, take it and wrap it. All you do is tie it off, take your line forward up to your eyelet, and wrap it hackle style to the eyelet and tie that off. That's it. And you can see it if you go to our website, YouTube website, which I imagine you're a subscriber of. Go look up it's Amazing Streamer or something. You'll see it because it has a lot of views. Watch that. Yes. That's why I couldn't think of that name. Thank you, Vincent. It'd be like tying a white woolly bugger, but just when you tie the tail on, instead of doing all this stuff, just run your line back up to the eyelet and wrap it hackle style around the hook. But anyway, go check out that video, and I killed them. The first time I ever used it on my favorite trout stream, my buddy goes, "What in the world is that?" And I said, "Man, this is the white SOB." He goes, "First of all, why call it the white SOB?" I said, "That's what I think." Yes. Yes, you can use some. He says, Damon Drake says he uses white or red holographic tinsel. I'm sorry, my English sometimes. Tinsel in as a rib. You could take the white SOB and change it yourself. I did. I mean, it was the woolly bugger before I turned it to white SOB. You can add flash to it, but they work excellent. And this friend of mine goes, "What in the world is that?" And I said, "White SOB." He goes, "Why you call it that?" I said, "Because that's what I think the fish would call it." They'd be like, "Look, fooled by that white SOB again." And I caught 6 fish before he asked me for one. And then he went on the day to catch 6 or 7. The fly actually works. And you can tie it in black and white, yellow, and different colors, and they work. So that is my favorite fly. Other things are black wool and olive woolly buggers, black woolly buggers, white woolly buggers. I just did a video on them, and a lot of things in your woolly buggers now. There's a lot of UV material out. Tie a little bit of UV material in there. It's amazing what that stuff does in the light. So there you have my streamers, white SOBs, white woolly buggers. There's always good. You can always use musky flies as Sneaky Pete. And good luck. And keep us informed on how you make out when you go fishing. Save them videos. Or, if you don't have video recording equipment, give us an email. Site's below. Go check out our site. Yeah. So, make sure, man, if you use the white SOB and you catch fish, I want pictures. Sculpin patterns. Yes. I have a guest tire. Go check his, in one of our videos, there's a guest tire. Go check him out. And he does a sculpin pattern. Puts a sculpin helmet on. I had it. It is so looking cool, and they look just like a sculpin. They work great. Another thing you can use for sculpin is the mother minnow, which I gotta learn. I want to teach you guys to tie. I haven't spun deer hair very often in my life since I was a kid, so I gotta kind of develop my spinning deer hair techniques a little bit better. But we'll be bringing them too. Right on. You could send it if you record it. Damon Drake, if you record it, you could just send us raw footage, and we could put you on as a guest tire too. So, yeah, or I could just view it if you don't want to do that. And make sure when you send us videos or video patterns you tie yourself, if you're not letting us use as a guest tire, make sure you want to let us know if we can cover that fly in a video. Can we use your video and just do a duplicate? I mean, me tying it of your fly and use it in video on our channel. Because if you don't want us tying that fly, make sure you let us know. And yes, so anybody else have any questions? No. We were discussing last time on my live stream that people watch later the importance of subscribers. So make sure, once again, if you haven't subscribed, right here. Live streaming is 10,000 subscribers. Affiliate programs is 1,000 subscribers. There's a little thing where I could bring up all you guys' comments right here on the video. Without that, that's, I think, 2,000 subscribers. Or that might be 1,000 subscribers too. Live chat. That's how important subscribers are. Don't let anybody ever watch a video where people say that subscribers aren't important. They are. And opening up things that we can do with our channel. And making our channel better for all of us, you know. It'd be cool to watch you guys' chat. Come down there. Blue color and trout. As in reference to blue color and trout as reference to what exactly? Why fish like blue color? Oh, now I see. Okay. This question is a lot of blue dancers, damselflies, and blue dasher dragonflies. Have you ever used much blue dry flies? No. One thing I did know is a guy gave me a blue, it was black, wing, a bluish, lightish, grayish color hackle, blue body, and black tail. And it was a grayish bluish. And he's like, now what makes you think this is work? I said, I know exactly what makes that work. That's a Hendrickson. Hendrickson gray. That bluish fly, they were taking it for the Hendrickson pattern. But no, see, spring-fed creeks that I fish, Pennsylvania, here in Pennsylvania, spring-fed creeks that I'm fishing at this time of year, when you'd see a lot of damselflies out in the water, they're too cold and you don't see them that much. I think that in my area, the only use you'd have for them kind of flies would be bass fishing. I think you'd have them, you could use them for that, but spring creeks in our area are right now really not too much dry fly action on, nothing on top of the water except for ants and your terrestrial patterns. They're mostly underwater feeding on nymphs and sow bugs and scuds and stuff like that right now. So the water where I would see them at this time of year would be too warm for me to fish. Now I understand if you're a fly fisherman, you keep fish, which is nothing wrong with that. Nothing at all with taking home your food. I just don't care for trout. I'd probably take them home too because I love haddock. If they tasted like haddock, boy, our Pennsylvania would be in trouble for keeping fish in the water then. You see a lot of them in Kansas. Okay. Yeah, I don't have much. I don't fish with any of the damselflies in my area. I don't see them much. But man, if I ever get out to Kansas and Missouri, which would be cool as heck, I'd love to go to different states and fish. I'll have to remember that. Damsel flies. And I've seen them, patterns of them, and I just never understood why many people used them. What would the purpose would be, but yeah, the water here is too warm for them. Any other questions? About 46 minutes. Granted, the first 12 minutes were without sound, which I promise to you next Sunday, it won't happen. And we'll add a little bit more features to make it a little more pretty cool. I use a lot of anchovy flies. Anchovy flies. That's pretty cool name. Is it like they look like the anchovies that come in a can? Is that what you guys call them, anchovy flies? Or black bucktail with white bucktail and green flash? Huh. Is their eye on it is like Clouser minnow, or it has the eyes on it, or is that just the buck hair? Is there any kind of eyes on it at all? That would look pretty cool. Yeah, that would look like a lot of, with the black on top and the white on bottom, that would look like a lot of our bait fish. I mean, some of them are brown on top. When they're going through the water trying to flee from a trout, I guarantee you the trout will take black and brown and just same. And right on. He says, yes, there is. These guys are cool. They're talking. I'm sorry if I'm not talking at this. I'd like to read their chats. It's awesome when you guys chat on there and help each other out on our chat while our live stream. That's pretty neat. Yeah, so he ties it with eyes with like the Clouser. And if another thing, Dave, somebody told me about tying that Clouser minnow with that particular color scheme. When you're representing like a redfin or something, is put a little right up by the eyes, is adding a little piece, and I just heard someone tell me this, adding a little piece of like red yarn or something, representing the injured minnow or that little red fin. Here in Pennsylvania we call red fins. The little red fin that's on that particular that they love. Another person told me that they banned in Pennsylvania, I didn't know this, that using goldfish, I didn't know that was a thing, that trout used to love goldfish, and they banned them using them. So, hey, why not try a gold streamer? Might work. So, let's see. Oh, we have a new t-shirt idea that we're coming out with that you might want to hear about. That's we're going to do one about water temperature. I was thinking 65, fish stay alive, or something like that. What do you think? Sound like a cool t-shirt idea? And this time of year, Dave, unless you're fishing really teeny brook trout, not so much hitting streamers. There's not much action with brook trout and streamers, but if you can find cold water where there's big browns and rainbows this time of year, streamers is the way to go. And talk about covering water. You could cover some serious water using streamers, because you know, usually when a fish hits a streamer, they'll come from a ways away. So, not like a nymph where they just suck on or dry fly, just stay in one spot and eat. They'll chase a streamer. So that leaves the ability to cover a lot more water quicker. And I love streamer fishing this time of year if you can find bigger, colder water. Which there's some here in Pennsylvania. There's some nice, sizable water that stays fishable all year long. Damon Drake said that his hatchery manager at our local place said goldfish / feeder fish tend to have diseases that trout don't manage well. That's why they banned it. So yeah, I'm not telling you people to take goldfish out. Please do not take goldfish out in the creek and fish with them. It's against the law. It's not good, even if your state doesn't have it against the law. Now, if you're going to tie up a streamer, you could try gold-colored streamers to represent the goldfish and see if they work. Yes. So Damon Drake, you're going out fishing for bass. When are you gonna hire us? We'll do a video. Out and record your videos. uh, I think it's gonna be great to be able to capture people's videos for them, make them a nice DVD of their fishing adventure. It's something that I have never ever ran, and actually I don't even know where I came up with that idea. I have no idea, but it's something I've never seen available. So I mean, I think it would be really cool to offer that as a service on our website. Is, you know, record your fishing adventures for you. I'm really excited to meet you, a lot of you, and record your fishing adventures. Yes. Hey, and Dave, when you try it, if you tie them up and you have good luck, man, make sure you send us pictures. Everybody, if you're watching our videos and you tie them up, send us pictures. Behind me, see this here is just a back screen. Behind here, we are constructing a wall, the everything fly fishing wall, and that'll be revealed probably next spring. Our wall will be revealed, and you send me pictures. I could copy them up in the printer and hang them on our wall, our wall of famous viewers, or I don't know. I always thought that'd be pretty cool. Or you'd draw pictures, send us artwork. I'll have the addresses in all my videos. The address will be below this. You have a post office box you can send it to. Send us anything you want, like pictures or anything like that. I love that. You catch a fish, send us a picture. Or email me the picture via email. everythingflyfishingyoutube@yahoo.com. Yeah, right. Unfortunately, Damon Drake, I have a lot of extra time, and I should have it built. You're right. I don't want this much time. I wish I was going to work tomorrow, but unfortunately, we're not. And we went to our block company where we get all our blocks forever in a day here in Pennsylvania, and it's all loaded with nobody's working. It stinks. There's not much construction happening in this summer. Now next spring we already got 4 jobs lined up. So yeah, that was the whole reason for the GoFundMe, is to keep us alive in the winter until next year. I never seen a summer so bad ever. Yeah, right. Have all this time off and still don't have a stupid wall built. Finish $300,000 homes in a couple weeks, and we have a stupid wall built. I know. I'm trying to work on websites to offer you my services. I want to start a DVD. You can tell me what you think about that. Is making DVDs from everything on how to set up your vise, put the hook in the vise, and all the different, how to tie on the different wings, all that. So I'm working on all that. Our websites, making this better. I mean, hours and hours and hours in front of editing hours of fishing videos to make 15 minutes. very time consuming. It takes me all day to make one tying video. I usually start at 9 and I get done around 2:45. And that's with an hour lunch. Every day I make a video, I put in an 8-hour day. So, yep, it's time consuming. I'd love to be able, that's all I had to do. If I could, YouTube would pay for me to make videos, that'd be great. But it's not that way. So I got to keep working. Someday, maybe we will. We'll be coming to visit you guys. All you, Dave, Damon, all you guys. I'm coming to visit you in your hometown, wherever it is, and fishing with you and do collabs in your town would be really cool. And is there anything else I want to cover, you guys? GoFundMe, terrestrials. Oh, one thing I want to talk about is when we tie this year, when we start off, we start off in a cycle where we bring you flies in order of hatching, like we'll start off with the Grandum caddises, the blue-winged olives, and all over again. This year we want to teach you how to tie every phase of that. The nymph, emerger, dun, and spinner stages of all the major flies that we use. So make sure if we don't cover one, you comment and tell us a fly, dry fly you want us to cover that might not have in our area that we tie. And we're going to go through the whole steps of fly stage. And another thing I want to cover. A lot of guys ask me, so what do you tie on as you're heading to your water? What's your favorite pattern to tie on as you're heading to the water? You didn't get to the water yet, and you want to tie on a pattern that you think is going to work real well when you get there. My answer to that question is nothing. I don't tie on a pattern while I'm at the vehicle. And if you want to be exact, I wouldn't recommend you do it either. First of all, you don't know what is happening on that water when you're up at the vehicle. You could tie on a nymph strike indicator. You know, maybe you're in 4 feet of water. You have to use a strike indicator. You tie that on, you get down the water, and they're hatching. That's why I never tie on. And another good step to do is if you get down to the water and they're not emerging and you want to find out what nymph to use, pick up a rock, turn over the rock, look at the bottom, and see what flies are on there. And that'll let you know what flies, what size, what patterns to use, what colors are that's in the water. And that's what I do. I don't ever tie on a fly at the truck. So that answers that question. I don't remember who asked me that question. But that is what we all do, is we don't tie on nothing. We get to the water. Me and Tracy will just put our reels on our rods, put our rods together, and head down to the creek. And oftentimes, even if I need a new leader, I'll tie that onto the creek because I have a nice little device that I got to start covering. Somebody gave it to me early in our channel for free, and I got to start running ads for them for giving me it. It's a little leader holder you put in. It saves your leader. It's a really cool device, and they also sent Tracy a rod holder that holds your rod. I got to show you them because I want to get one of them rod holders for myself. But I often tie my leaders while I'm sitting there on the bank. I'll sit down I don't want to stand and let the fish see me. I'll sit down right along the creek so I can just see the water and sit there and tie my leader together and looking at the water and see what the action is on the water, you know. That's another thing I want to cover is rises, knowing what difference in rises are, knowing a dry fly rise and a emerger rise, and cover all that subjects in the future. I got a lot of ideas. Give me ideas for videos you want to see. You know, that helps it make it our channel more. It's our channel, not just mine. And he wants to hitch on a trailer to bring the fly shop. Yeah, that would be. I had that idea, and this is a bummer story kind of, but I also tell you about it. I was fishing a lot of times when you're on the water. When you start making up your own patterns and everything, and you start catching fish, and there's people beside you that don't, a lot of times they'll ask you, what are they biting on? And you're looking through the box, and you're like, do you have any of them? My idea was to tie a whole bunch of flies, keep them right in the vehicle, and be like, hey, you don't have any? I'll be right back. Go get them some, sell them to them right on the creek. With new modern things, you can attach a thing to your phone and even take credit card payments on the creek. But yeah, bring the whole fly shop. That would be cooler yet. Where you could bring the rods, the fly shops, and your vise set up along the creek and tie. People come right up to your truck, have it like a food truck, but they get to come up and see what you're tying and buy flies and rods and reels off you. That's a good idea. That was a good one. Damon Drake. Is that what you meant by that, by the way? I don't know. Oh, you're doing that in an event in Missouri. Oh, I like it. That is cool. That is really cool. That is a great idea. Diamond Drake says that's what they do is they take the trailer and tie, bring the whole fly shop to the water when they do events and stuff, which we will eventually get to interviewing him what he does. We'll do a video on what he does and how he's bringing, because he gives flies to charities, and he's talked about bringing his trailer and his fly shop right to the events. We'll let you do a whole interview, let you know about him. We're going to start working with him, and we'll let you know his whole program and what they do in future videos. So make sure you keep an eye on that, because that's really exciting about the stuff that they are doing. Yes. Yes, you will. We're here, Damon Drake, for whatever. He says, hopefully we can get Donald to do some guiding and recording. Yes. Yep. You definitely can. I like giving back to the community. I really do. Like I always say, man, if one of you people, has learned something from our videos, learned how to tie a fly and caught a fish, or learned how to catch fish a little bit better, that's why I started this channel. I didn't start this channel to make it rich. You know, I wouldn't want to be making a lot of money off the channel where I live in a plush house. That's not me. My opinion is, if I could make enough money where I wouldn't have to go to a job and I could do this every day, that's fine. That's all I need. That's all I need. I don't want to live in a mansion or make it famous or be the next big thing on YouTube. I just want to teach you guys how to fly fish, bring you great videos. And we're going to keep on doing that. And we're going to have programs. We're going to update video cameras where you can help us update our video cameras. All that. That's all I want. I don't want to have that. I don't have to have bragging rights to a nice camera. It just makes the videos better and shooting 4K and all that. Just make the videos better and help you guys maybe catch more fish. That's what I want to do here. Make a community, and I want you guys to be able to help make videos. And you guys be in our videos and interviews with you guys, because you all have a story to tell. All of y'all, almost what we got, almost 800 subscribers. All of y'all have stories to tell. All of y'all want to be and tell us your story. Most of you. Some people don't like being on camera. And that's what I want to bring to all of our videos in the future, is more interaction with you guys and more of your stories and more of your fishing. And if you come to Pennsylvania and you don't have the video equipment but you want to record, don't forget to check out our website. And look for future collabs with Diamond Drake. And we are on a Facebook channel now. that is set up just for us to start making fishing collab videos. And that's what we're going to be doing, is collab videos. And make sure you're here every Sunday at 1 with your questions. I love questions. More questions. I want more and more questions. So if we can help you, maybe catch more fish, bring you know, what you think, and help you guys out. Talk to you later, Diamond Drake. Our podcast is about ready to come to close. And make sure you keep a hold of me. You got my email address. And we'll see how we can help. Talk to you later. And like always, everybody out there in YouTube land, keep your lines wet, out of the trees, and only give them fish a sore lip.